Hello and welcome to 10 Minute Tabletop. I'm Devin.
And I'm Darren.
And here are the biggest stories from tabletop gaming from the past week in 10 minutes or less, so you can get back to playing the game. Roll20 has acquired Demiplane.
Leading virtual tabletop, Roll20 made another huge acquisition last week and acquired Demiplane. Demiplane is a rules nexus and character sheet creator that gained a lot of traction over the past few years for giving the same ease of character creation as D&D Beyond, but for other popular gaming systems like Vampire the Masquerade, Avatar the role-playing game, and Daggerheart.
Now, this acquisition will have no current effects on anyone's subscriptions, their accounts, etc. And the Roll20 team will be surveying people on how they want to see this integration work together.
And why is this important?
Roll20 is the largest VTT out there. They are huge. And this is their third recent acquisition. They acquired Dungeon Scrawl, they acquired One Bookshelf, and now Demiplane. Now, what this is doing is making them incredibly resilient in a space that is very hard to succeed because just like we saw, One More Multiverse had to close down earlier this month. So having all of these are not only spreading out what they can offer players, but are moving towards that one goal of being an all-in-one destination to be able to play games and make it easy for those games to happen.
Yeah, it continues to be a very niche market, and it seems like this is their way of just solidifying them as the leader in that niche.
Now, I hear a lot of people that sometimes go and dunk on Roll20 because it's been around forever, right? And some of that legacy code is kind of hard to work with. But over the years, after they've gotten their new leadership, their new CEO has come in, and we've seen huge leaps and bounds with Jumpgate, Roll20 characters. So Roll20 is trying to remain competitive in this space. And our next story.
DC20 has done $1.3 million on Kickstarter, you guys. You've probably seen every D&D content creator on YouTube talking about this. It still has 18 days left in fundraising with over 13,000 backers. This is a massive uptick from Dungeon Coach's first Kickstarter, which had 3,514 backers and a pledge of over $250,000.
The Dungeon Coach is beloved. He's a great YouTube creator, but I didn't have it on my bingo card that this was going to become one of the biggest competitors in the kind of the post-OGL crisis space. You know, we knew Kobold Press was coming out with Tales of Valiant. We knew that was going to be big. We knew MCDM. We knew Stormlight was coming out, but I wasn't expecting DC20 to kind of come out with this massively popular role-playing game that is it did better than Kobold Press did on its Kickstarter.
DC20 is doing what a lot of these other original TTRPGs have promised, which is fix the clunky aspects of the D&D 5e play with their own original content. And it's already surpassed Kobold Press, and only time will tell if it closes the gap with MCDM, which is at what?
MCDM did around $4 million for their RPG backer kit. And there's still 18 days left for Dungeon Coach to maybe meet that. But here's the thing. Stormlight, the Brandon Sanderson role-playing game, that has 10,000 people that are notified for launch. So that's 10,000 people that are interested to know when this actually happens. I do think that Stormlight will be the largest Kickstarter for tabletop role-playing games this year.
And I think we all know at this point, Brandon Sanderson is the king of Kickstarter. Everything he touches on there turns to gold. He's like, leatherbound books, everybody wants them. Hey, new book series, new game, minis. Everyone's immediately, all my money, all of it. And he just smashes goals, and he's very, very successful in there.
Constantly.
Yes. Our next story today is we are talking about the Dicebreaker layoffs. Tabletop gaming news site Dicebreaker has been on something of a hiatus for the last few weeks in the wake of being bought by IGN with not a single post going live. The tabletop community got some answers from the now former staff in the form of some Twitter announcements. What did they say? Editor-in-Chief
Matt Jarvis and senior staff writer Alex Meehan and head of video Michael Whelan all shared that they were made redundant by the site's new owner. Made redundant just mean that they've been laid off. Board Game Wire reported on the situation and has also reached out to IGN, getting no comment. In fact, no official statement has been given by Dicebreaker or IGN about the redundancies. And what's wild is the last time we actually saw a tweet from Dicebreaker was just them saying they've been bought. And it was kind of an anonymous tweet that was sent out because it didn't seem like, oh, we've been bought. Look at this. This is great news. We're going to expand the team. It was very much like, what's going to happen next?
We just wanted to give a huge shout out to the Dicebreaker team and all the work that you've did over the years. If you watch this show, you've probably heard us mention Dicebreaker a bunch of times, and we hope their team land on their feet, get new opportunities, and we're just wishing you all the very best.
We've mentioned their bylines a ton, and we really appreciate all the work they've done for tabletop gaming. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in to 10 Minute Tabletop. A quick word from our sponsor.
So you want to play a tabletop RPG like Dungeons and or Dragons, but you can't find a group? You tried looking on Discord, but you joined 10 servers and all you found was enough flakes to fill a cereal bowl? Facebook groups and message boards were no better with people ghosting you or bailing after one game, and Reddit, well, you repressed your memories of what happened at Reddit. But don't give up. If you want to find a reliable game that fits your schedule and playstyle, you just need Start Playing, the #1 site for finding games. You can search for a game by time and day, and Game Masters are backed by verified reviews. Regardless of your experience level, it's never been faster and easier to find a dedicated tabletop group. So if you're ready to play, head to startplaying.com today to start your adventure.
And lastly, the D&D TV show will not be moving forward on Paramount Plus.
However, Hasbro still plans to develop a television show, with Deadline reporting that the television show will undergo a creative update before being shopped to other buyers.
Okay, so I went into a deep dive about this. This is insane. So Sherry Redstone inherited a bunch of shares of Paramount. She has delayed a bunch of IRS payments from the shares that she's inherited. So she has a $37 million debt that she needs to pay. And I think this debt is hers and also the parks and amusement side of Paramount. And so she doesn't want to sell off the parks because they are incredibly profitable still. I think they are. So her plan is to sell off Paramount Plus because streaming has been terrible for Paramount Plus. They're trying to compete in the streaming wars. You have been talking about it a ton, that there's like just no way to succeed in the streaming wars.
Yes, I've definitely got on the TikTok side where you just hear all the talk from all actors, directors, producers that this streaming bubble about to burst, and we are going to be seeing negative ramifications for it. And this just seems like one of the first of many.
But the thing is, so she's out there courting, trying to get buyers. So Paramount Plus is like, we don't know if we can do new shows right now.
Yeah.
We can't buy new stuff. So I don't think the TV show is canceled. I do think that it's better this happen now than after the sale, and then in the shuffle, it gets canceled after a lot of time, effort, and money sunk into it.
It seems more likely that they are looking to be acquired or partner up with somebody else so they can maybe take off some of the costs of having to do this all on their own, and then we'll maybe see it later and just have the date pushed back indefinitely until they figure their stuff out.
So listen, so what studio do you think should pick up the D&D TV show? Do you think it should be Disney Plus, Netflix? I don't know. What do you think, Darren?
I think it should be Disney Plus because Disney Plus is...
I think it should be Netflix.
You think it should be Netflix?
Netflix was one of the reasons why D&D got popular again. I mean, Stranger Things did do a lot for it. I could see Netflix really wanting it.
You know, the only reason why I said Disney Plus is because I think they're like the only one that's going to survive because they own everything. I don't even know.
Disney Plus, they have a lot of money, so they probably do. But I think Apple TV, I wouldn't be mad about it.
Yeah,
you know,
I didn't really have an actual reason for why, like culturally or ideologically, they should. I'm like, I think they'll just be here for sure.
So hey, that's all the news we have for you today. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you want to support the show, head over to our Patreon at patreon.com/Total Party Chill, or you can share this show with your friends, your family, and your enemies. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.